Okay, this is going to be video one of doing the Bass Shack foundation. The very first and most important thing is we need to make a copy of this drawing. So I'm going to immediately click on the red A over here and click on Save As. And I'm going to go to my Use This folder on my Z drive. So my drive, just like you have. And I'm going to go to my Use This folder and make sure that I save this as Bass Foundation and my middle initials. So go ahead and do that. And we are now making a copy. Click on Save. I've already done this before, so I'm going to replace it. And now once you're done with that, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to turn off our E-walls. We're going to take the fireplace and place that on the porch and deck layer temporarily. And then we're going to turn off our porch and deck layer. And you're going to make sure that everything was on the correct layers, and we're going to delete everything. Now, hopefully you made a copy and you followed step one. If you want to double check that, you might want to go back and take a look. But once you've done those two things, you can now turn those on. Actually, I'm going to continue to turn those off. And I'm going to actually turn my construction lines on, and I'm going to delete these as well because they are no longer needed. All right, my drawing is kind of back to bare bones, and I have my porch and deck. The next thing we're going to do is you need to follow along closely with this, as I'm going to type in Multiline for Multiline once again. We're going to make two changes. We're going to go to ST for style, and we're going to type in I wall or F wall. Sorry about that. Enter. And we need to make one more change, and we're going to click on J for justification, and we're going to change our justification to 0. Once you've made those two things, that's a good start, but we're not going to do it just yet because we need to offset some lines. So I'm going to offset my lines 3 inches, and I need to have a cross in every corner. So there's a cross in every corner that's offset in 3 inches. Over here, I need to have this, and if you don't have that, you need to make sure that you're maneuvering lines so that you can get them to come over. And this is going to be a problem here because this wall has not been exploded. So I'm going to go ahead and explode this. Yours may be different than mine. Doesn't really matter. And I'm going to offset again to where I have 3 inches, and I have a cross in every corner. So this one doesn't seem to want to offset, so I'll offset this line 3 inches. And you got to just, everybody's kind of on their own. And then this one I'm just going to take and I'm going to drag it out perpendicular to there. And then let's see here. I'm going to actually go ahead and I could use the extend command, or I can just grab this grip to where I have a cross in the corner. All right, let's go back to our multi-line. Okay, and I'm going to use the F wall. I'm going to double check my settings. We're at F wall and 0 because we've already changed those. And I'm going to start here in the corner, and I'm going to pull all the way around, and I'm going to hit each corner following the fireplace. We're going to get there. We're going to go to the crosses that we've established in the corner. I'm going to go to this cross here, and then the easiest thing would be to do C for close. Okay, one thing I didn't do is put it on the correct layer, but that's not a big deal. I'm going to put this on the F wall layer now, and I'm going to say make current, and I'm going to turn the F wall layer off. All right, I am now done with all of this information right here. We're not going to worry. We're not going to worry too much about the porch and deck right now, but we're not going to delete it. Turn the F wall back on. The next thing we need to do is we need to create our stairs here. There's a couple different ways you can do that. If we take a look at our drawing, it is the stairs are 3'8" from this point up, and then there's 17'4" across. So you'll need to memorize that. If we take a look in here, you'll see 3'8". Okay, and then you're going to see 17'4" if you add it there. 3'8", then these added equals 17'4". You should have that written down in your notes. All right, why don't we go ahead and let's try a couple different ways you can do this. I'm going to use a construction line. So let's put the construction layer on there. And let's draw a construction line from the corner here like this with ortho on. And I'm going to offset that 3'8". 3'8". And I'm going to take this line and offset it up. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over 17'4", but I'm telling you ahead of time that dimension is going to be just a little bit off, but we'll explain that later. So multi-line enter. We're just going to start this right from this corner here. Don't worry if it's not aligned correctly. We're going to stop it at that point, and we're going to come over, and we're just going to try to get it close to 17'4". We're going to double check these dimensions right away, and I am letting you know ahead of time that they will be wrong, and I'm just going to leave it at that spot right there. So I have my L, okay, and I'm looking at it. It's on the wrong layer. Well, I know that we're going to be at least a little bit close, but when we were measuring from the center of this multi-line. Let's go ahead and dimension and see where we're at, and we came out to 4 feet. Well, we wanted it to be 3'8". We're 4 inches off. We're going to take this line and we're just going to scoot it up with ortho on 4 inches. All right, and now I'm going to go back and I'm going to double check my dimensions. I'm going to drag these back to make sure I have these. You may have to do this step more than once. And now I have changed that dimension to 3'8". The only thing that's off with it is this multi-line needs to get moved over right to this point. Okay, you can delete your dimensions. You could do whatever you want. In fact, I still don't think it's correct, is it? So if I measure again from here to here, I have 4 feet. This line needs to come up 4 inches. So even I did it wrong. Now let's double check it. Oh, I guess it was right. Pull that back down 4 inches. What happens is I keep using I keep grabbing the dimension and I'm measuring the dimension. 3'4". So I did have it correct originally. We're going to pull this down 4 inches. Now we'll measure from this point of the concrete to that point of the concrete. This point of the concrete now needs to come. It needs to come down, so we're going to move it from there to there and measure from that spot. Okay, you have to go back and watch that a couple times. I understand that that was a little bit tricky there, but that's one of the toughest parts, just making sure we have from this corner to that corner 3'8". All right, the last thing that we need for this part 1 of the video is hit the multi-line. I'm just going to draw a line like this, really short, and it's just going to be tight like that. I'm going to align it. I'm going to use the move command, and I'm going to align this corner with that corner, and then I'm just going to drag this down like we did before. And then I'm going to double click this here, and we're going to make a corner joint. It's really important how you click your corner joint. I want to click the inside of this dash line and the inside of this dash line. And I am really struggling with this. I don't know why that didn't work. Let's go here and here. There we go. All right. We're not going to worry about that this is not on there correctly right now. All we're worried about is make sure that you have this correct at 13'8". We're going to come over here. We're going to double check this. Again, it's supposed to be 17'4". From there to there, we are at 17'4" if you follow the instructions correctly, and you should be in good shape.